When I was in Paris, I would crawl into bed every night, and no matter how exhausted I was, I could never seem to catch my breath. I realized that I missed you so much. I physically ached.
Well, that's a good thing, ain't it?
I love being in love with you, but it scares me. I don't generally need people, and at this stage in my life, I certainly don't need a man. And there I was, realizing that if we didn't make it, that emptiness would be permanent.
Listen to me. We're gonna make it.
Well, we better. Because if we don't, in the vernacular of the old neighborhood, I'm gonna break both your kneecaps and then I'm gonna kill you. Could I be any clearer, darling?
I hear you.
I know, I'm crazy.
Oh, you're not crazy.
I know my schedule is all over the place. So see, don't you think a night together would be heavenly?
Well, it'd be like paradise, but I can't tonight.
Oh. Are the coffee beans just crying out for you? Or is there something else I should know about? Just forget I said that. Okay, I value your independence just as much as my own, and I am not the clingy, jealous type. Just I've been away, and I'd come home to Claudia's car in your living room, and I'd pushed a button.
But you don't have to worry about Claudia or anybody else. You're the woman that I love.
Well, a man can be deeply in love and still be tempted by a lot of things. Look, a one-night stand means something when the person involved never seems to go away.
Claudia is nothing. What I gotta do tonight is strictly business.
It just feels unpleasantly familiar.
Well, I mean, you know, walking away from the organization means I have to pay a lot more attention to my legitimate interests. And I have no intention of making a living off my famous wife.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I know what it's like to be guilted in neglecting your work, okay? So you just go and do your thing, and I'll be with the wedding at home alone.
I won't be late.
Okay. Wait. Speaking of, can I just ask you a couple things? It's important that you get what you want, too.
What I want is whatever makes you happy. Okay?
Okay, well, I guess you already have that. So these are the champagne flutes I was talking about.
That's fine. Whatever you like, that's great. I'm sorry.
Can you pretend, please, for me?
Yeah. Are those diamonds?
They are. They're hand-blown into every flute.
Well, here's what I think. I think that the bride should be the only one who gets to rock on a wedding day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you? I had no idea you were such a traditional.
Mary Catherine and Nicholas Constantino.
And what made you think of them?
They had the biggest, splashiest wedding in the history of Bensonhurst.
Yeah, well, see, I wouldn't know. No one in my family was invited, something about a butcher bill, but I heard about it.
Well,
everyone did.
I went with the Cirillos, right? And guess who my date was? Lois's sister, Fanny.
Oh, was she? Really?
Yeah,
wow, must have been special if you still remember it.
Well, no, actually, it gave me nightmares because Mary's dress looked like a bunch of pillows put together and it exploded. And then they sewed it back together. And then, Franny and Lois is like, oh, that's the greatest dress in the world.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
But the best part was, you know, those glasses with champagne glasses, they put those fountains and stuff, and the bride and the groom, they walk right through barefoot.
I like it. It's very old school.
Yeah. It was the happiest day of their life. That's what you want, isn't it? Big splashy wedding. Everybody remembers.
Wow. If it was that over the top, I'd be horrified. Yeah. Yes, what I want people to remember is the hope and the love and the promise. I mean, I try to picture myself on my wedding day walking down the aisle, you know, like I did when I was a little girl, like all little girls do, I suppose, but now it's real. And you were standing there at the end waiting for me. And honestly, Sonny, I get these feelings inside. I'm all scared and excited at the same time. It's like butterflies.
You want champagne glasses with diamonds in them? Buy 300. We'll give them away as party favors. We'll walk through that fountain barefoot. And as happy as Mary and Nikki were, we'll be 10 times happier.
Max is in position. He says Karpov shipment will be offloading soon.
Any word on what they're bringing in?
Max hasn't gotten access yet.
Karpov gave me his word. He's not going to be pushing drugs into Port Charles. I just don't believe him. Good shit.
Mr. Corinthos, I didn't expect to see you
No,
here.
I'm just making sure everything goes smoothly.
Oh, well, Mr. Karpov will be very grateful for your good work.
I'm surprised. Why wouldn't Mr. Karpov be here, to see a shipment land?
Well, he planned to be, but he just called and said something important came up, so he might not make it. You cost me a pretty penny, Mr. Corinthos.
Yeah, how so?
When Mr. Karpov explained his goals for Port Charles to me, I told him that it would never happen. Mr. Corinthos is famous for being in control. I bet a week's salary that you would refuse Mr. Karpov's offer to work with him.
That's a bad bet. You should stay away from the track.
So why did you retire?
I got my reasons. Personal.
And yet, here you are.
I'm willing to make things easier for Karpov as long as he stays away from my former organization. You should remind your boss of that. If Karpov gives Jason any problems, we got no deal.
You see, that is the part that makes no sense at all. You should be taking down the man who stole your empire.
First of all, Jason didn't take anything from me. We made a deal, and I gave him the business.
And now you want to make sure that there will be no friction between your Mr. Morgan and my Mr. Karpov.
Karpov made me a nice offer, some critical concessions. He plays by the rules. We got no problem. Can you hold up? Hold on.
The shipment has to be loaded
No, it's not going to take long.
immediately.
Bring that over here, open this up. I just want to make sure this is what it's supposed to be. Can you come here for
I'm
a
sure
second?
it is.